As part of the 70th anniversary celebrations of KNUST, Life School presents a special series with KNUST alumni to learn from their life experiences and share their special fun moments from Tech Campus. Join us to share our fun moments and learn from each other. Life School, sharing skills and lessons for life.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Life School series with KNUST alumni. For today, we have with us Technocrat Engineer William Amuna. You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, and you're also welcome to my home.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
Okay, sir, so I've been told you are the Alumnus Extraordinaire. Is that so?
Yes, I love the title.
How did you earn that title?
Yeah. Well, I've always been very proud of KNUST.
Okay.
I guess I've attended 4 different universities, but KNUST that is the ultimate for me. I mean, I've been a very proud student of KNUST, and I continue to be a very proud one. Mm-hmm. Now, there was a time that the alumni team actually came to my office when I was CEO of Gridco.
Okay.
Then they needed some help to get certain activities going. And I thought, being a very proud son of KNUS, I needed to help. So I got, and it shouldn't surprise you anyway, that many of the engineering firms in Ghana, especially the power sector, have the engineers trained in KNUST. And Gridco, I worked in VRA, same. Okay. I guess if you go to Ghana Highways and then the rest of them, okay, they have products from KNUST running those organizations. Okay. All the engineers in the field, they are products, are their technocrats. So we in Gridco decided that, look, let's come together and then get some deductions from our salaries to help the association. Meanwhile, I had actually been doing certain things earlier on for the university, in terms of helping in the training of some lecturers. One of the things we were doing was that anytime we had to travel for certain important conferences, we would get the university to send us some lecturers to join us. We also helped in certain provision of certain facilities, laboratories. We made our substation at Homaso available to KNUST. That is where you can actually go and learn power systems simulations. We have all the equipment every day. We made that available. I think we also added a pickup also to facilitate the movement of students and then workers. So I have dedicated that to the university, my services to the university. Whatever I can do to help the university, our association, I would always do that, and I would continue to do that.
God bless you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so since we are already in KNUST, let's talk about your earlier days in KNUST as a student. Okay. So what were some of your fun moments? Wow,
that's good. I entered KNUST in 1980.
Okay.
And those were the very turbulent days, university days. Mm-hmm. And I was there till about 1983 when we went on Aluta. We were the disobedient ones. So I think we were disobeying the government and we had to be sent home for a whole year. So although I entered in 1980, I graduated in 1985. When I was supposed to have graduated in 84, because all students had to be rusticated. We went home for 1 year. And then we got back and then continued. My fun years. I loved walking to the faculty. What do you call that place? There's a name for it. Mecca. I loved it. I loved it. You know, you see us in our t-shirts, walking from Queen's Hall all the way to Mecca. When you are done, then you wait for your friends, then you walk back. And there was this class that the engineering students used to be in the first years. Mm-hmm. I think it was room C or so, that was the name. Very big one. And I loved to sit at the back there. I mean, that was fun for me.
I see.
Yeah.
So which hall were you?
Oh, of course, I was in the best hall, Queen's Hall. I originally I was in 192 Queen's Hall.
Okay.
And then in my final year, I was in 189. And I was alone in my room. It's not like today that you have too many people. My first and the second years, I paired with somebody.
Okay.
But my third and final year, I was alone in my room as a final year student.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so during my time, we had something called grabbing status.
Yeah.
Yes, so you have to tell us whether you were single during your time or yeah.
You see, my wife is around, so how do you ask me something? How do I answer? But anyway, I was so scared of the university girls, I wasn't going near them.
Oh.
So so I was single anyway.
Okay.
I was single on campus.
So you completed 4-0. That's how we.
Exactly so, 4-0.
All right.
Maybe if you can add one because we graduated in 5-0.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so what influenced your decision to study engineering?
I started school, secondary school in Navrongo Secondary School. And at that time we had a Scottish headmaster calling George MacDonald, who had a technical background. So most of the time we used to go, repairing the school track, doing so many funny things, technical related things. So I picked up that interest. Then I continued to GSTS. GSTS is a purely science school. I think nowadays it isn't wholly science, but at that time it was just physics, chemistry, biology, and then mathematics, nothing else in the school. So we got in there and then decided that, well, I should read electrical engineering. So when I entered KNUST, I think about a quarter of my class in electrical engineering came from GSTS.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's something that I took an interest in based on what I was doing with my former headmaster, and I think I've not regretted that.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I read in your history that you have a master's in business. Is it business and
yes, finance.
Finance,
Yeah.
exactly. But how is that related to the engineering?
Well, not only that, I also have a master in public administration from the Harvard Kennedy School. Now, when you are an engineer, you don't have to just rest on the technical aspect of things.
Okay.
It is very possible that you grow up to be a manager somewhere in an engineering firm.
Okay.
And you shouldn't rely on others to give you all financial information. At least you should be able to interpret some of such things. So it's very good to have such degrees in addition to your engineering degree. It helps a lot.
All right.
And I think when I became CEO, I actually realized that it helped a lot. Yeah.
Back at KNUST, were you involved in any extracurricular activities?
I used to play hockey.
Okay.
I used to play hockey. I was a hockey player for Queen's Hall, but there were so many good players. So I always came in as a substitute on the bench, from the bench. But
Okay.
I played hockey in GSTS and also in KNUST.
Okay. Any political activities?
Oh, yes. I remember when I was in the KNUST, they said I was a socialist, a Marxist actually.
Okay.
So when I stood for KNUST elections, I got 4% of the votes, we were 2. And they said I was Marxist, and at that time, the whole KNUST was against the so-called socialists. So when I went for the manifesto, they brought in this Afro Moses. They light the whole, in front of me. They brought so many Afro Moses in front of me that I was a Marxist, I was a socialist, and I lost. I lost brutally, honestly. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did all these activities, did it affect your studies in any way?
No. I love to go and stand in front of the Porter's Lodge and argue. I love to go in there, go and argue with, the capitalists against the socialists. We always had that argument, and I loved it so much. But I always had time to go and study. Definitely, I did. Yeah.
So no challenges.
No. I was okay.
That's nice.
I was fine. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so let's move to your life after school, after KNUST. So I read you had your internship, your national service at VRA. So my question is, how did you navigate your way to the top?
Okay, good. When I left KNUST, I was posted to, originally I wanted to go to Balco. Then I was posted to KNUST, VRA, to Akosombo.
But how was the feeling?
Oh, it was okay. I mean, I got in there. The good thing is that so many of my colleagues in KNUST were also there. I mean, in electrical engineering, I think we had about 8 of us in VRA. And they put us through some training, a 2-year training. Very rigorous training, practical training, building things and whatever. We had to go to the classroom. You'll be there a number of months, then you go to the field. So after 2 years, we're all very, we're working at the various units, and that was very good. Now, I was trained as a protection and control engineer. I don't know how to explain that, but the power lines. Assuming you have a problem on it, we have devices that can detect and automatically switch off certain things or whatever. That is the protection aspect of it. And also the controlling, you should be able to put on a knob somewhere and then activate another device somewhere. That's that type of controls. Yeah. So that's my training. Although I also learned a lot about the lines as well as electrical maintenance. Then that was the time that VRA started constructing transmission lines to the northern part of Ghana. And I was put on that project. I think that was a game changer. Because within a short time, my bosses traveled out of the country and I was made a boss. Just 2 years training and I was made a boss. And when they put you in such a corner, you must prove your worth. And I think I really studied a lot. I used to read. Now, unfortunately, all the towns that we went to, they didn't have electricity. We were now going to provide electricity. So we had to be reading with lanterns in the night, on what we'll do the next day, plan our jobs, and then we were able to commission the Techiman substation, Sunyani, Tamale, Bogatanga, Winchi, and all the other satellite substations. I was a commissioning engineer actually. So once all the things are done, then I would have to now go around with my equipment, with my team, testing everything to be sure that it's okay. So when I give the final go ahead, look, the station is okay, we can energize, and we knock on power. Now, I remember in Sunyani, when we were in Sunyani, we had a big problem. The day we were going to energize, the generators were actually nearby, and the folks in Sunyani had gone to the generators and written on the generators, "Rest in peace," locked up the whole place. So we started working. Then we intended knocking on power at 6 p.m. Anytime we knocked on, it would go off. You just knock on, it comes on and off. We call it trip free. So it became a big, and the whole place was surrounded by, people, young men from the township, and so many different people over there. So we drove everybody up out of the control room.
Okay.
Then I was working with one technician engineer, and then some Italian wiremen. Okay. We entered, took our manuals, studied, and then realized what was wrong. So we sorted out that problem, knocked on, and Sunyani was aglow. To get out of the control room to my car was a problem. The guys were not allowing me. I thought I was like a pop star. The people were there. And the similar thing happened in what do you call it, Wa. When we finished, the town, most of the drinking spots, they were playing this on Akosombo Kanya. And it felt so good, So working up there as a commissioning engineer really helped me a lot. Okay. Then I got back. When I got back, I continued as a protection and control engineer. And after my training in Harvard, when I got back, VRA sent me to a department called Technical Services. Now, Technical Services, you virtually have to study everything in every department. Generation, transmission, distribution, and that was a very good department. I got in there, learned a lot, eventually became the director of Technical Services in Akosombo, I think from 2006 or 2005 thereabout to 2008. In between, there was Dumso, not the second Dumso, the first one, there was the first Dumso. And I was sent as a director, emergency generation. So those small generators that were placed in Kumasi, somewhere in Tamale, and I was working on that with some technicians and some engineers. Then I got back to technical services. Then I was there till about 2013 when I was appointed the chief executive of Gridco. Then I moved on to Gridco. So many challenges, days of Dumso. Sometimes I will be sleeping in the night, then I get a call. I tell my wife that I'm off. I take my car, I will not even wait for my driver, straight to the control room, go there and see what they are doing, and then make some call somewhere. Sometimes you just have to go get a plane ticket and fly to Cote d'Ivoire because they had power at that time and we didn't have. So you just go across to negotiate to see if they can send us some power. But that was a very tiring period. Meanwhile, during that period, we also undertaken major projects as Gridco, and some of them resulted in Ghana now being able to export about 150 megawatts to Burkina Faso. Yeah. So as we speak, we are exporting about 150 megawatt to Burkina Faso, and then 150 megawatt towards Togo, Benin. And I think that was very good. I mean, the challenges were there, but we were able to weave our way through.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask, I believe VRE instilled a lot of values in you.
Yes.
So, can you tell us some of them?
Yes. The major thing is discipline. I mean, as a professional, if you're not disciplined, forget it. Forget it. And that was everywhere. For instance, when you're in Akosombo, you could use project vehicles, but you can't just take a project vehicle and drive outside. And you can also have your own driver's license. No, you must be tested by VRA again before you can drive any VRA vehicle. You can't. There are certain small rules around that you just don't have to break them. And if you do, you run into trouble. Now, one other thing to realize was that many people in VRA never went to functions late. Very time conscious, and I think that's one of the best things that VRA has. Of course, we took that to Gridco as well, but as I said, I don't go to functions late. No, never. Not even on my wedding day. On my wedding day, me and my wife arrived there about 15 minutes to time. So when we started, the place was empty. So I'm very time conscious, and I think it's a very good thing.
Yeah, it's a very good
that
thing.
Ghana man time, no, that should be a dead thing completely.
We have spoken about life at VRA. Let's move to life at Gridco.
Okay.
You said those times were very challenging.
Yeah, they're very challenging. Yeah. I'm a very simple person. Really simple, and the Gridco guys loved it. Like, I could easily bump into somebody's office, go and sit there and chat with the person. That kind of thing. What I was doing, what they call management by walking around. Going like when people are, I remember there was a time that we had a major problem where we needed to supply power to Valco within some hours. Otherwise, the pot lines would kick. So when I got there, the engineers were trying to sort it out with their drawings and everything. Then I said they should give me the drawings. So they told me, no, Chief, this is not your job. I said, no, don't worry, we are all part of it. So we took the drawings, went through the logic, then we showed what could happen. And then when they tried it, it went through. And they were surprised. They said, oh, you still have all that knowledge? I said, of course. Once an engineer, always an engineer. So I actually mixed with the people. Sometimes it will surprise you, like the drivers. I got to work very early, normally by 6:30 a.m. And it's been part of me. Sometimes when they are troubled by something, when I get to the gate, they will stop the car and tell me to get down, then my driver should park, so they will sort it out with me. I wasn't offended. And so I was able to mix well with them. I mean, it isn't that I wanted to, and I was afraid of a looter from them or anything of the sort. No, I didn't expect anything of the sort from them. But we were able to work together as a team. And I did a number of things. For instance, we have what we call mechanics. They are low down the ladder when it comes to the technical personnel. And normally they don't have enough training. So I send them to Zambia on training. And for so many of them, that was the first time they ever sat in the plane. Now when they got back, incredible, their work rate had improved seriously. Seriously, that no. One other thing I did too was that now when you go to the control center, you see so many young ladies there, engineers. I ensure that anytime we employed engineers, at least 25% were ladies. I wanted the ladies to also come up as an encouragement, you know. So when I was in KNUST to give a speech during one of the graduations, that's what I said. I told the ladies that I was going to look at her. And just today, my chief executive called me and said, oh, there is somebody that is who is looking for a job. Okay. And I said, okay, bring the application. I'll send it to some of the organizations around, and just to get all the lady engineers working. And I think that's been very good. But Gridco, it's a very good organization. It's really, very smart people, really smart. There was this young engineer who developed an app, and I went to Japan when we were preparing to build the Central Business District substation. The center of Accra, there is a near graphic. Okay. We went to Japan on the technical documents. And when I was using the app, the Japanese asked me, where is this thing from? Where did you buy it from? And I said, no, Gridco developed it. They were surprised. Okay. You could sit anywhere in the world and then know exactly how much you are generating. Every generator. Okay. Like this generator is at this power factor, it is generating this amount of power and whatever, incredible. So Gridco is quite a very good organization, very, very smart people, very smart young technocrats who are actually doing very good things over there. Okay. Of course, the young man I'm talking of is a technocrat. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, sir, what advice do you have for the young graduates who are now coming into the system?
Okay. Like I said earlier on, you must be time conscious. Look, if you violate time, every other thing is violated, I'll tell you. Okay. If you decide that you are going to meet somewhere at 8 o'clock, what prevents you from going? Of course, I know these days with all this traffic and the rest of it, it's a bit difficult. But as much as possible, try to beat time. Don't let time beat you. It's important. Then the other thing too I would want to say is that the world is changing. You could go in and then study electrical engineering. Okay. But don't be surprised to end up somewhere as a marketing expert, or maybe, what would I say? Or even a mechanical engineer you can become, So, yes, you are trained in a particular field, but don't limit yourself to that field. Okay. There was a time I sent my car to a very young guy somewhere who works on cars. Right. And everybody says he's good. So later on I engaged him. I said, so why did you study in KNUST? He said, no, I wasn't in KNUST. I said, where did you school? He said, oh, Legon. I said, no, what did you read? He said, oh, psychology. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah. I said, so how did you? He said he had an interest in it. And if you go to a shop around the building, it's incredible, the kind of cars that people bring there, He actually brought in some Indians to come and work on Jaguar cars and whatever, The guy studied psychology and has ended up in cars. So just don't limit yourself to what you have studied. You should be able to look at, especially these days that you have all the facilities on the net. Okay. The other day we were talking about my last son. My last son is doing his master's degree and he didn't know how to cook, how to add pepper or whatever. But this is what did he do? He just went to YouTube, you mix this, you mix that and whatever. So this time you can go on the net and then study so many things. Look, I tell you, you can go into automation. Okay. You go in there, study all those things and then It's not like those days that you were doing the pure mathematics, the calculus, dy, dx. No, no, no. There are so many things that have been put up together that can aid you in whichever field you want to go. So to the young ones, yes, you've done a particular course, but don't narrow yourself to that.
Okay.
As the normal say, shine your eyes, open your eyes everywhere, and then look at other things that are possible. And I bet you'll be surprised where you end. That you did one particular thing and then you are doing something diametrically opposite to that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for the advice. Yeah, so my eyes keep drifting to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
my awards. Wow. So I can't find one of them. I don't know where that one is. But in 2017, that's the picture there. 2017, I was voted CEO, best CEO in the power sector. Of course, this one is from my alma mater, KNUST, for services to the university. I'm so proud of that one. This, I told you that we now export power to Burkina Faso.
Yes.
This was from the contractors. I think these were the consultants actually. We had to go to Korea to look for the money from KXIM. And but for the construction of this line, it would have been difficult exporting power to Burkina Faso. So we went, we got the money, and within 2.5 years, we were able to construct that. We actually constructed some adjoining line to link up to the Aboise substation. And as I said earlier on, now we are exporting power to Burkina Faso. Now, over here, Gridco, I wasn't too sure whether I was a good CEO or not, but they honored me. They said they really appreciated my services to Gridco, and they gave me this honor. I'm so proud of it. That was in December 2018. Here we have the former Chief of Defense Staff, Air Marshal Michael Samsonoje. We were actually doing a few things for the military. From Gridco, I mean, in terms of providing some lighting and all those things. I was
about to ask if you actually went into the military.
No, my father was a military man, but I wanted to go into the military, and he said at that time I wasn't a gentleman, and you needed to be a gentleman before you go to the military.
By gentleman, he means...
He thought I was a bit rash, but of course, so he's a 3-star general. That's why you have the 3 stars over there. Then, of course, this is from the alumni, for all the services to the alumni. I actually offered to help in fundraising as well. So I spoke to a number of organizations, VRA, Gridco, Bui Power, and I think we made quite some good monies over there. And I'll go back to them anyway. I'll go back and get them to continue sponsoring us. Okay, then there's another one here, that's International Electro Technical Commission. We actually started the Ghana chapter of it. They deal in the standards for the various equipment. For every equipment like this one, like this, it has an IEC standard. It could be IEC 6, whatever the numbers attached to them. And I was a member, a founding member of the Ghana chapter.
So, aside these ones, I see also beautiful albums.
Yes. Of course, you can see my family, myself, my wife Genevieve, the 3 boys. They, all electrical engineers, but the one to the left passed on.
Oh, yeah. So sorry for your loss.
That's okay. So that's a family. Electrical engineer. He was an electrical engineer in the US, and then got involved in a swimming incident. So, well, may he rest in peace.
Tech engineer Amuna. Please tell us a little about your childhood.
Okay. I was born in Burma camp. My father was a soldier, and the good old lady was a housewife. We used to call her Lady Thatcher, and I know you can infer from that this was a very strict mother. We had an equally very strict disciplinarian in the father. And so I started school in the Bema Camp, the Reki Primary School, and then to this schools, Kutuka or whatever, you know. Then I continued to Alumni Primary School, just near to Achimota School. There's a school there known as Amuna.
Okay.
So Alumni here, it means that you hear the bell. I mean, we were there and you could hear this Achimota School bell.
Okay.
Okay. Then I continued up north, went up to Nabrongo Secondary School. But growing up as a little boy in Bema Camp, we always wanted to imitate the soldiers. Okay. We had our own parade that we could go. We could write letters to some people in another regiment that we were going for war with catapults and whatever.
Who were also kids?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We could go to the bush there hunting. And I tell you, me and a number of friends, and my brother follows me, went towards the Tishi area. There were some crocodiles somewhere. We killed one. Right. We killed a crocodile. I mean, it was all rough growing up. You know, so that's why I was saying that our old folks thought that we were not gentlemen. I mean, we were rather too rough for the military. We shouldn't get into the military. You know, but it was interesting. Then I went to Nabrongo Secondary School. I think that is where I was actually molded. Okay. Like I told you, we had this headmaster who was actually not doing everything. Yeah. Today you see him repairing something, trying to come out of a hydraulic system to be uprooting trees. The next time he will take you along to do a sail. You know, he had all those, you know.
Okay, but come to think of it, Achimota was closer to you.
Yes.
So why all the way to Nabrongo?
Good. That is another story. Now, what happened was that at a stage, I had an uncle who was a policeman in Bolga. Okay. So he came down to Accra, and then my old man said he should take me along. Okay. He should take me along. So I went and I was staying with the uncle in Bolga. Oh. And from Bolga to Nabrongo is just 18 miles. You know. So I think that was a link that sent me. Maybe if I'd stayed here longer, I would have gone to one of the schools here. Yeah, but it's interesting. When I went to Nabrongo Secondary School, I had 5 other brothers who followed me. They all, I mean, the ones I was there, they continued, and then, so 6 of us, direct brothers, went to Nabrongo Secondary School. So then in Nabrongo Secondary School, like I said, we learned so many things. A Greek, you know, it actually brought you up as a whole human being, let me put it that way. Something that would make you very independent in future. Okay. And like I said, it's an area that brought me up very well to where I am now. Always trying to get things fixed, you know. So totally unique school. I mean, if you go in there, you see that. Maybe things have changed now, but nowadays, things were really such that, you know, you would learn so much. Okay. Then of course, then I continued to KNUST. Yeah.
All right. So how many siblings did you have, or do you have?
Hey, we are 10 from the same father, same mother. 10? Yes, and I'm number 2.
Okay.
I'm number 2. I have a brother who is a professor. He's a medical doctor, actually. He's a professor. I have a brother who is a major in the U.S. Army. He's a soldier. I have a brother who is an engineer, but with Coca-Cola. I have
He's also a technocrat?
Yes, technocrat, yes. Okay. You've met him, Joe Amuna. Okay. Yeah, he's an engineer. And I have 2 sisters, actually. I almost forgot all the ladies, but I have 2 sisters. I have a big sister and I have a younger sister. Yeah. A younger sister who doesn't want me to introduce her as my younger sister when we meet other people. I should just say my sister, and I love that. Anyway. That's good for me.
I see, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So moving on to the anniversary. So there are a number of activities that will be held during the anniversary. So which of them are you very enthusiastic about?
The homecoming, I love that one. In fact, I would love to be present for everything. Okay. But for the homecoming, I love that. I think I'll definitely be in Kumasi. I just hope that we have accommodation, because I hear the place is going to be filled with people from within and then those in the diaspora.
Okay.
But I'll make sure I get there. Anyway, of course, I always get accommodation in Kumasi, but be assured that I'll be there.
All right.
As we used to say in KNUST, I'll be there in my numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why the homecoming though?
Well, that is why you're going to meet so many people. Look, there are so many classmates that, of course, by virtue of technology these days with WhatsApp and all this, we are able to meet online.
Yeah.
But physically, there are so many classmates I've not met for a long time. And mind you, I left KNUST in 1985. How many years now? See, the engineer's mathematics is failing him now. But so many years ago. And it would be lovely to see some of my classmates. Yeah. There are many that I've not met. And not only classmates, but other people who were in Queensall with me. Especially those who voted against me, claiming that I was a Marxist.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to see. I know some of them anyway.
Okay.
So.
Is there any other activity you have interest in?
You mean the anniversary?
Anniversary.
No, like I told you, virtually everything. I would like to be there.
Oh, okay.
Yes. When I go there, it will just be a long haul. I'll just stay in there and then.
Enjoy.
Yeah. The only thing I can't do now is to play football or play hockey or anything else.
Okay.
I guess I've gone past that age.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, like I told you earlier on, I've attended a number of universities.
Okay.
And much as the universities will try to do so much, they would also need the support of many people to be able to work or operate properly.
Okay.
I mean, if they have the good inputs, they will turn out quality students. Was it last week? I saw something in the newspapers that KNUST was voted as the university in Ghana that produces quality students. And of course, we are all very proud to hear that. But will it stay that way? We need to make some inputs so that they can maintain that status. Okay. And the only way we can do that is to contribute generously towards KNUST. I mean, we don't expect everybody to come out with big monies to support, but whatever people can bring in, I think that would be very, very good. Because for many of the universities that I've attended, that is what they do. They always come together, you get people coming to, in fact, people can even come and put up a whole lecture room block,
okay,
and it will be named after them. And a similar thing can be done in KNUST. There are people who can help, and then we get the infrastructure going. Okay. So let me encourage all technocrats, whatever we have, let's look at contributing towards KNUST to make it a better place. The other good thing is that our children have also been going back there to KNUST, and whatever support you give, if it doesn't go to your child, it will go to somebody else's child, and that is all good for the country. We are supposed to be developing the country as technocrats. Anytime you hear of a bridge collapsing somewhere, they tend to condemn engineers. And where are the engineers from? Of course, there are other universities, but KNUST is in the forefront. So let's look at how we can contribute generously towards KNUST during this period. And I will contribute. I will definitely contribute, and I'm encouraging all other people to contribute so that we'll make KNUST not only the best in Africa, okay, possibly the best in the world. It is possible.
Right. Very possible.
Will you say yes, we can?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, exactly so. Yeah. Good.
Okay. All right. Technocrat Engineer Amuna, thank you so much for all you are doing for KNUST. Yeah. God richly bless you. Okay. And most importantly, thank you so much for gracing this edition with your presence. We are very grateful. Thank you very much. I think it's a big honor to me coming to my house to film me, you know, and like Idi Amin said, we shall retaliate, but how can I retaliate? The only way I can retaliate is to contribute positively towards KNUST, and I promise I will definitely do that. God bless you. God bless you too. All too soon, we have come to the end of this edition of the Live School series with KNUST Alumni. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have learned a lot, as I have also learned a lot. Thank you.